Hey everyone, it's Kanka here, and today I'm going to be making a Valorant video talking about the newest addition to the game, Reyna. I'm going to be covering a variety of things in this video, and I'll have some timestamps up on screen now, as well as in the description for what parts in the video I'll be talking about specific things. Those things are already listed on the screen, but essentially I'll first talk about the basics of their abilities and how to use them, before moving on to some more complex things like actual examples of what and what not to do, positioning, timing, etc, etc. But right before I move on to that, I want to mention that to play Reyna well, you need to be getting a lot of kills. So if you aren't already getting like quadras and aces every other game, Reyna might not be the agent for you. I don't want to sound too discouraging, but her value almost entirely comes from kills and snowball potential. So yeah, I figured I should probably point that out. But yeah, anyway, first off I'm going to be talking about Reyna's abilities. If you aren't already familiar with her abilities, her signature is reliant on kills, and you get one free charge of it at the beginning of each round. This ability, which is called Dismiss, is incredibly unique and interesting because it shares charges with another ability called Devour. Each charge for these two abilities costs 100 coins, and you can have a maximum of 4 charges at once. Dismiss makes you partially see-through and invincible for, I think it's 2 seconds, yes, 2 seconds, and Devour heals you back to full health, like it heals a max of 100 HP, as well as 50 overheal if you don't have shields, and that takes 3 seconds. And although you need to maintain a line of sight with the enemy's body for that to work, I'll throw up like a clip now that I recorded explaining that in more detail with actual footage of it. Alright, so with both the orbs, both Devour and Dismiss, they last for, well, okay, so the healing, it'll heal you for a maximum of 100 HP, and it takes 3 seconds to heal you for max. And then you can see here, even if I wait until that bar is right to run out, like right at the end, it'll still activate all 3 seconds. So you don't, it's not like you have to use it straight away to get the full use out of it. Same thing with Dismiss, but it lasts for 2 seconds rather than 3. And just one other important thing to note is that if you break line of sight of the healing, it will stop. So don't break line of sight of the heals if you actually want them. But yeah. The next ability I'm talking about is Leer, and it has a similar effect to Omen's Paranoia, shortening how far you can see, and it also messes with your audio a bit, and that only affects you if the orb is in your line of sight. It costs 200 coins and you can hold a maximum of 2 at a time. You're able to shoot the orb out as it's being deployed, as well as blinding you so that's a counter to it. So make sure to do that before you like try and shoot her through it or something. I've seen people try and do that, and I did as well, it works, but not the best way to counter it. But I'll throw up a clip now that I recorded of basically how much damage different guns sort of. So with the Leer, I'm going to be showing you like what different weapons do against it. So the classic pistol here takes like a lot of shots, as you can see there. Most weapons are like multiple shots actually, like the Vandal even, you got to hit it 3 or 4 times. That's the same for Spectre, Phantom, all the pistols. The Judge is actually quite good at killing it. If you get the circle right on it, you can one-shot it from decently far away. And then obviously, oh, now my problem. Obviously all the snipers one-shot it. Another thing also is that you can break it before it comes out. I'm like, oh, sorry, but if you shoot it before it comes out, if you listen to this, there's a slight sound cue. So if you're ready for it, you are able to shoot it before it actually blinds you. And then another thing that's worth pointing out is that you can use this as a body, not like as a body shield, but if I throw this here, he can't shoot me through that, but I can shoot him through, as you can see there. But
like everyone else.
Yeah, that's the Leer. It's really useful. So you can see if it's all the way down there, that'll reach me at this range. So that is the max range of it roughly. Give or take like a few steps, but that's pretty much the max range of it, which obviously as you can tell is really far. If I turn away, it goes like, it doesn't affect me, but if it's anywhere, even in just like the slightest corner of your screen, it'll blind you. But yeah, that's the Leer. The final aspect of a kit I'll be talking about is the ultimate, which is called Empress. It costs 6 ultimate points to activate and has a duration of 20 seconds, and while it's active, you shoot and reload faster. You also have a little less recoil, and enemies are easy to spot. If you get a kill while it's active, the timer resets back to 20 seconds. And while her ultimate is active, her Devour and Dismiss abilities that I mentioned earlier, they change. They don't take away any of your charges. You heal automatically without having to press the button for Devour, so you just like instantly get health back on kill. It still has the 3-second timer, but it's instant. And like instant in the sense that it activates as soon as you get the kill, sorry. But when you use Dismiss, you go completely invisible instead of being like partially see-through. But yeah, that's her ultimate. So for this part of the video, I'm going to be talking about the best ways to use each ability, backed with either my own gameplay or gameplay from Reddit and streamers. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about Devour and Dismiss first off once again. Deciding which one to use quickly after getting a kill is crucial in making sure you stay alive. The only time you should ever use Devour, which is a healing one, is if you're sure it's safe to stay in line of sight of the enemy you just killed for 3 seconds, because that's how long it takes for the healing to fully heal you, from like 1 to 101 or 50 to 150 if you're looking for the overheal. And then obviously if you break a line of sight, the healing stops. More often than not, you want to use Dismiss, but keep in mind that you don't always want to be using these instantly. For example, if you get a kill on someone separate from the team and you didn't lose any health, like, don't use it then. With Dismiss, you can cancel it early by clicking the button you used to activate it, and this can be especially useful when you're trying to pounce on someone straight away, because there's a short delay of when you can use your gun again after Dismiss ends, and I'll touch briefly on Dismiss again once I start talking about her ultimate. But yeah, make sure that you're aware of the weapon delay after you end Dismiss. For Leer, there are 2 main ways I find especially useful to use it. More often than not, if I'm peeking a choke, I'll throw it upwards and towards the other side. Like for example, if I'm gonna peek at someone that's peeking there, I'll throw it like up there, and then what that'll force them to do is either one, move their crosshair away from where I'm peeking from and destroy it, meaning I can just peek out and kill them. And then second option is that they duck behind cover, giving me time to move up on them. I can use another orb, but basically I can just get the jump on them, make distance, make space for my team, just anything along those lines. I also like to use it almost as a shield, because obviously that blinds them right and they can shoot through it, whereas like if you throw it right at them, you can then see if someone's standing behind it, you can shoot under them. Obviously the legs isn't that much damage, but it can also be used like that in a pinch. Obviously that one's a lot more situational, and I'd recommend that you only use it to move the enemies closer away from you, like I showed earlier, because obviously that's more consistent, and with the second option there's more of a chance they hit a lucky headshot after they break it. With Empress, I personally like to use it best right at the start of the round on defense if I hear multiple people pushing up on my side, or on attack if I see multiple people at the side I'm pushing. It also rivals Vipers as one of the best clutch ultimates in the game as far as I'm concerned, and it's often a pretty good idea to pull it out if you're clutching a 1v4 or even 1v5, as you normally get up pretty fast anyway, so it's not too much of a different way to end it. It's honestly just a massive help in those sort of situations, where some ultimates, for example, say like Sages, might not be the best in 1v5 if you can't get to your teammates. But yeah, as you can see in this clip here, I use the invisibility from Dismiss to get behind this Sage, and fortunately she doesn't turn around in time to kill me. But when clutching, you should always use Dismiss on every kill to reposition, but again, make sure you're wary of the weapon delay once you come out of it. Last but not least, I'm going to be talking about where to set up / position yourself on various maps, as well as depending if you're like attacking and defending. Keep in mind that this video is being made a few days after the game's release. If you're watching this a few weeks or months from this, I don't know whether there'll be any map changes that affect these, or like anything could happen in a few months. But yeah, what I like to do for Haven, I normally go C on defense, and what I'll do is I always buy Leer, throw it up, because you can throw it through walls. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, I would have had text say that, but yeah. You can throw it through walls, and then I'll wait a bit, throw it up there, peek, if there's someone there. Great, free kill. If not, well, obviously they're not the best kill. And then if I quickly ghost over to to A, I also like to hold A, as it's a decent site to hold as well with her, because you can get behind this, and then if you hear someone, same sort of thing. Just make sure you don't put that like right down. Just don't put it close to you, because what'll happen is they'll break it, and then they might luckily right after hit you in the head, which obviously you don't want. So just put it far away, but still in their line of sight. So actually, now that I think about it, that wouldn't be great. I'm sorry, I'm going off track here. That wouldn't be great, because they can still pick like this, and that wouldn't be in their line of sight if you put it there. So just be careful with that. Make sure it is in their line of sight, and also not like right on your head. But yeah, that is it for defending on Haven. On Haven, once again, I like to push C. This is mainly just because I really like the long line of sight, because I take Marshal and Operator fairly often. But again, same sort of thing that I mentioned earlier. Put that up high in their line of sight, and then free kills or free space. For example, you can move up here, and then you can work with anyone in your team with a smoke there off, and you can push out again with another one. Because if you put this right up here It's kind of hard for me to show because that doesn't blind me, but that will pretty much blind the entire team that is here. Obviously it only lasts for a few seconds and they can shoot it, but all you need is a split second to pull your team to type it around. But yeah, I don't intend to go A or B much attacking on Haven. However, one thing that I have found really useful is when you're using this window. This is a pretty good spot to peek us at, because if I can actually make it over here, once again, it's really easy to put through walls and then free pick some of those guys. Although, again, I did it badly. You want to be doing higher up in the air so that it is not gonna get you killed. But yeah, that is basically Haven.
I've heard someone say that before, and I can't remember who said that. But I know it's a thing, so.
Is that God? No, never mind. No, it's not God.
I'm gonna wall off that. Alright, and wall is deployed. Crosswall, crosswall, crosswall.
Oh, is it?
See? Wall come back up.
Hello.
Okay, wall going down.
One enemy remaining.
Yes. I did
Nice.
I didn't deserve the last
Nice.
kill. No, I didn't
Nice.
deserve the last
Good.
kill.